Good morning. How's it going? Wow. Oh, what is that? That is you. Okay, there we go. Ah, hello. Good morning, Core. How we doing? Hello, Salty. Good morning to you as well. Right. Okay. A little bit chilly. Let me put my little cozy on. I got like a fluffy poncho thing for Christmas. So it's like not quite a blanket, but it's not a jumper. I have been living in it. He's comfy. He's very comfy. Right. Music. I was listening to my morning podcasts. Deep breath. I just woke up. Fair enough. I've been awake about an hour. Ish. Also not much of a morning person. I can definitely say it's only been a week and the new schedule has definitely made it worse for the 2 days that I do wake up early. Early in quotation marks. Right. Well, as you can see from the stream title, I have a commission. We have our first commission of the year, and it is an art. It is like a 2D art one. I'm not doing 3D avatar stuff. Did you see about the collab? I did. I don't know what the collab is, but cool. It's so cool that Monster Hunter is collabing with Monster Hunter. It must have been so hard for them to get that deal. This is the same vibe as when FF14 collabed with FF15. It was like, wow, I can't believe they managed to strike a deal to collab together. Like, I guess technically it's a collab, but it just feels funny to call it a collab between the same franchise. Watch a video about it in Monster Hunter chat. I will try to look later, but I'm sure I will forget. I did Beastie Ball tournament the other day. Oh, how did it go? I saw that there was a Beastie Ball update. I'm looking forward to playing tomorrow. Right, it's been a while since I've done 2D art, so I should do warm-ups for my wrists and stuff, which means we are drawing the circles. Oh, 12-4 matches. Nice! Congrats! Well done. was on your team? Wow. Stretch the hand. Stretch it out. He changed colour, Core. Changed colour. I do already have a super rough sketch of what I'm doing from when I was talking with them. So I will open that in a bit. Bandicraft, Bongus, Orgella, Crabaret, and Garude. Okay! I love that Bandicraft's in there. I'm biased since that's my starter. Because I'm that bitch who likes to keep her starter in her team. Bandcraft is not only my favourite starter, but they're actually pretty good. Hails to the yes! Hails to the yes! My boy. I love him. Stretching. I can really tell I haven't done any actual 2D drawing in a while because my hand is seizing up a little bit, but that's why we do warm-ups. Give it a stretch. Why we draw circles over and over. It helps warm up the muscles in our hand for drawing. It's a literal muscular warm-up. I haven't decided which Spreco Evo I want to go for. They're all really good. I guess the only one I know I'm not going for is Illugus, or however you pronounce it, because I have Kale, my Bandycraft, as a really good Mind Boy, and I also have Smoothie, who is Mind-based, so I'm like, I don't need another Mind-based beastie. Good morning, Ace. You don't have to attack me every time you arrive, you know. Okay, stretch that out. I suppose I should tick that off. Oh, my hand. Oh, my hand. Hello, Nemo, darling. I love you. I don't have to, but wait, you guys are mean. I saw Bongus, and that was my first immediate pick for playthroughs going forward. They look like a dragon, and I love dragons. I also love dragons. Technically, my Bandycraft Kale is a dragon. They're named after an OC of mine called Kale, and Kale is a dragon. You can't decide. They're both very good. They're all very good. What? Oh, neat. I have like 2 Dragon OCs, and one of them I really want to make my main Sona, but I like my Fox too much to replace him. How are you? That's fair. That's fair. How are you, amazing peoples? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well, friend. I think it's more than fine to have just like an OC that you like just as much as your Sona. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people because I know that some. I actually have like a couple of friends who literally are just like, oh, this is my main Sona, but I have like an alt Sona, or this is like my, you know, X. You know, this is like my bird Sona or my dragon Sona or whatever. But I'm the person just like I just have the one for Sona and the rest of my OCs, but I love my OCs very much. It's personal preference. There's no right or wrong way. Bun, bun, bun. Look at that little dance. Look at that little dance. Very cute. Hello, Galaxia. Oh my goodness, all my darlings here this morning. What? Yeah, I can't decide. I can't decide between Bongus and Surgus. Maybe Surgus. Maybe Surgus, because I got myself a couple of yellow boys after I needed them to help deal with both the pirates and the golden gym. So I have a few yellow ones now, so maybe red. I mean, I don't really need any because I've kind of rebalanced a little bit now. Now that I've got both blue, reds, and yellows, so it's like weirdly enough, I kind of just want to keep Sprecko as Sprecko because they're an all-rounder. You could genuinely be talking about Pokemon I want to Bongus. I'm talking about Beastie Ball. Beastie Ball's great. Bongus is solid. Drum is quite a good field effect. I don't have any mons that do field effects. I should just have a look on the wikis and see what they do. Because my Sprecko does sort of fill a support role. I don't generally have them be the attacker, especially when they're paired with Kale. It's generally they support Kale, which is why their relationship is very cute. They really like each other. So this is cute. Only reason I chose Bongus in my last good Iron Man run was because they decided to learn a spirit move before metamorphing. Ah, fair enough. I think my Sprecko is still fairly neutral, which I think is surprising given how much time they spend with Kale. I guess because I like them as their all-round and in their all-rounder. That means I know what that means. It means that technically what I want to go for is the secret one, but I know I can't get the secret one until post-game. So it's like, well. We do circles to exercise the wrist, and we do lines to exercise the shoulder. You haven't finished making a game yet? How far in are you? I think I'm on... Jesus, it's hard to say how far in are you, because it's a fairly open game in terms of where you can go, but I'm on like, all the high rank stadiums now. I've done Golden Gods and Pirates. I play once a week, remember? I play once a week when I stream. Sunsu and Marcia tough, like damn, they threw the hardest curveballs in my Iron Man. Yeah, both of them made me completely restructure my team. Like, I'd done okay up until that point, but those two, I lost to both of them multiple times. Which is why I've got a little bit more diversity in my team and in my like benched guys. Like now instead of like in Pokemon where you kind of just end up with your main team that carries you through the game, I've got like some people on the back bench that I can like swap with. So if I get into trouble in future fights, I can like change my lineup and see if that works. Just kind of nice. Kind of nice. Speeding through this because we're almost done. Alright, muscular warm-ups. Circles to warm up the wrists, lines to warm up the shoulders. And then afterwards we give it all a big stretch. There we go. Okay. Stretch the arm out. Get a big old stretch. I don't know if the microphone could pick that up. Time to tick that off the bingo. So many lines, at least 3 of them. Great. Oh, I've done a bunch of stuff. It's not in my recents anymore. Alright, is this still on an A3 canvas? I think it is. Yeah, I believe that's A3. Yeah. Don't need this one. Right. It's a kobold! Yeah, we are drawing a ref sheet for Pirate for Lucky, a proper one. We have done Art of Lucky in the past. But this is an actual, like, ref sheet. This is going to take us a bit to do. They look cute. They are cute. Kobold. Alright, so yeah, I need to open my Discord. So I can go over our conversation again. Front and side, a third one for the clothes. Facial expressions and space for a bio. I actually hadn't put that in on the sketch, but I could probably move the palette around. Could put palette up here instead. And have bio down here and maybe as well. I think I'll have a play around with positioning when I've got a better idea of the sketches. I went for 3 facial expressions just because 3 is a good number. You tempted me to do a little drawing because my clients ain't got back to me yet. Do it! Do it! Do the art. talk about how much they cooked on the Sprecco Evils all day. Yeah, Sprecco's great. I mean, you can kind of tell when getting through the story that they're like they cared about Sprecco a lot because it's like important to their world building. You can kind of tell, or at least I can tell. The mushrooms are important. What? I like how the three Evos focus on other thing other than what type they are proficient at. Yeah, because there's plenty of that in the game itself, which is also why it's a difficult choice. I may be seeking new things to voice. Yes! Love it. Love it! Right, I suppose I should think about what facial expressions these guys are going to have here. So I know for a fact that one of them is going to be a mouth open, because that was something that I remember seeing when someone was literally doing like ref sheet reviews of like, personas can have weird coloured mouths. So it's helpful if we have a thing on the sheet that has the mouth open, even if it's just to clarify that they don't have a weird coloured mouth. Because personas be like that. Look at the default Phoenix that I took the photos of the other day. Default Phoenix has a green mouth. Default Phoenix has a green teal kind of mouth. And Bennett's mouth is blue? Purple? No, I believe Bennett's mouth is purple. And I think so is Voz's. Yeah, Voz has a purple tongue. And Bennett has a light blue tongue with purple gums. So yeah, so personas can have weird coloured mouths, so furry artists appreciate having a look at what colour the mouth is. Oop, the horses are coming by again. Just a random thing that happens where I live, of sometimes a horse comes by the house. They all benefit different playstyles. How would you describe them then? As someone who is unsure which one to go for, how would you describe those playstyles? Phoenix drinking paint. Look, I'm not saying a Phoenix wouldn't drink paint, frankly. They're little sweeties. But I'm not saying they wouldn't drink paint. Lines that resemble me also. Hi y'all. Hi Pirate. How's it going? Ilgus is trap, which means they're great for disruption moves, mainly for moves that tag out beasties forcefully. Vongus is drum and rhythm, which, along with other healing moves such as Calming Aura and Clearfield, can easily stall out beasties, as well as direct attacks them using Mighty Yell, and Sergus is rally, who is pure power, with moves such as Bang and, of course, Rally for extra damage, which, while very solid for doing damage very quickly, Sergus is kind of weak compared to the others. This is what PvP does to you. It turns into the beastie equivalent of Wolfie VCG. I actually don't know who that is. That makes me think that maybe I want to go for Bongus, because, like, having, like, Ilgus would be useful, but as I said, I have mine, two very strong mine guys. So I don't want to end up kind of where I was I was with the other ones, when I came up against like the golden gods and stuff, where it was like, oh, I have too many of one type. So I think Bongus is probably where I'm going to be going then. If Sergus is just about attacking, because I have plenty of attackers. Like, attacking is generally my strat. Is the postman around? Dog's going crazy. I don't know if I've got something arriving today or if I got something arriving tomorrow. A competitive Pokemon YouTuber often uses non-conventional Pokemon to win tournaments. Nice. I love that. Sip. Sippy. And stretch. No cracking this time. It you! Pirate, which for you is a higher priority? Having the clothes be the big one, or having the bare body be the big one? Because I realized that I drew the clothes as the smaller one, but you pretty much always have them clothed. Yeah, I figured. I was like, those two should probably be swapped. I think I'll keep the side view bare, though. I think. Although I suppose it doesn't matter, really. Wow, I resized that perfectly. Whatever comes and goes, I will hear your silent cry. I will touch this tender wall till I know I'm home again. Wow. Some of the most notable Spirit Beasties have the problem of I'm only good for one turn and I'm nearly dead. Yeah, they're a little glass cannon-y, I have noticed. Kale manages to survive, which I think is why I like him, because, like, Smoothie has the potential to be so really good because he literally buffs himself every turn, but I feel like he doesn't stay out long enough to benefit from that buff. He needs more survivability. I was gonna say, if you're into weird things you haven't drawn before for Lucky, I give you free reign to make a decision. Aww, fair enough. I think we have most things covered. Having done his 3D model, I have most things covered is the thing. But it's one of those things where it's like, if there's anything that I've ever sort of like made an assumption on that you want to correct, obviously feel free to call that out as well. Because, like, even though, because in doing your 3D model, like, I ended up asking a lot of those questions, like, when I asked, do you have any back markings? Or, like, anything like that, because I needed to texture the back, never drawn the back. So I had to ask you, like, do you have anything on your back? And you said no, but if you change your mind, then we can put back markings on. Let me go back to these expressions. Exciting. This is a weird angle for me to draw, so I'm challenging myself to do it, but as an artist, I'm like, well, what would I need to know? If I had never seen this character before, what would I want to know? I don't know why I gave Lucky a rounded snout instead of a square snout, but I don't know, it just felt right. And then I made a blend shape for it on the cobble because I was like, let's give round snout. I haven't heard a lot of these songs in so long because we've been on holiday. We're supposed to waste away. not sure if that's even a word. Brow can press down on patch vectors, basically. No, I'm not going to draw this angle. Because I just realised that the side view covers it. The reason I was trying to do that weird angle was so we could see where the neck pattern ends, but I just realised that because we have the side view, we can see that the neck pattern ends under there. So I don't actually need that view. Other than trying to force myself to draw something awkward. This feels a bit long. Like just for she. Thank you. I'm going to try and draw that again, but with at a less funky angle. Does this mean your stream avatar will finally have ears? You finally gonna update your VR chat avatar to have all the correct settings? I don't know if you want to trip my hat in on the ref sheet. Ah, yes. Where do I put the hat? That's awkward because it'll obscure a lot of things if it's actually on the model. So it might have to just be off to the side of, like, also wears a hat. Because it'll obscure a lot of this stuff. So, yeah. I'm gonna have to put it off to one side. Uh-oh. How dare you interrupt my vibes. You must die. I haven't done any drawing in so long. I don't wear it often anyways, fair enough. I was thinking about putting a little footnote of being like, doesn't often wear a hat because it falls off. Because it really just kind of balances on the head, doesn't it? Because it's just that question of like, I do see people of like, how do they wear hats? And it's like, they kind of don't. Things that come up when you're in the furry community, especially when I have a persona like Blue as well with wings, of like, how do they wear clothes and stuff? And I'm like, well, with Blue, she kind of doesn't. The wings definitely make it awkward. So I did, when that was the one thing I realized while modeling the hat of like, it literally just kind of sits on top. Because it doesn't go like down over it like a hat would. That would, you know, go like this. It just sort of rests on top like that. So it kind of just doesn't. It just doesn't actually. I'm making a lot of these notes by hand, but I will actually like type them out when we finalize it. Legiocrus! I really hope Legiocrus makes an appearance in Wilds. He has to. He has to. He's so popular. He's so popular still. dumb question, but is Lucky actually blind in that eye? This is where handwriting it does become a pain. It would be better if I just started typing this stuff. I'm gonna default to, well, my default font, but we can use different fonts. Fair question, really. I have genuinely encountered characters in books who have eye patches but are not blind. I have genuinely encountered them, so I have to ask. Wears an eye patch, is not blind in one eye, and apparently sometimes swaps the side that the eye patch is on when people aren't paying attention. Eye patch wasn't exactly to cover the blind eye, it was to protect dark vision when going below deck. You mean going above deck? I thought about it before making Lucky just do that, but ultimately white scarring around the eye wouldn't make much sense. That's true. I don't think I'm ever gonna get over the first time I met this artist in VR. They said some of the most cursed stuff I've ever said, I've ever heard. And I was just like, oh. It's just that, oh, that was unexpected. Because I didn't meet them while they were performing or anything. It was just that, like, a casual hangout that they ended up, like, just being at. And I was like, oh, shit. And then and then they just said something really cursed. And I was like, oh, okay. Basically just because they were hanging out with friends, basically. That's all it was. You know, you say weird shit when you're chilling with your friends. I wonder how difficult it would be to implement what Spinder does with all Pokemon. It depends, because I don't know how they implemented it with Spinder. Like, I don't believe it's that there's literally like 100 different sprites for Spinder. I think it's literally like a coordinate thing that like gets generated, I think. Like, I think it's literally that there can be a certain amount of splotches, and there's literally just a coordinate, so like you can find images of like the splotch just moving over a little bit each time. Question: have we had? Does modern Spinder have varying patches anymore? Because back when it was sprites. Yeah, back when it was sprites, you see how this one's plain? I think it was just as simple as they could have had 2 splotches on them and there was like a separate coordinate for each splotch. But now that we have 3D models, I don't know if we do anymore. Look. Yeah. Oh my god, look at this panda one. That's actually really good. Yeah, I think all of these splotches had like different coordinates. But I don't know if modern ones do that anymore. Some of Spinder's actually mentioned the odds of Spinder having the same spots as less than 1 in a billion. Since Spinder spots are based on a personality value, which is a 32-bit number, the simplistic model will put the odds at 1 in blah blah blah, which is indeed smaller than 1 in 4 billion. However, it's actually possible for 2 personality values to produce spot patterns that are visually identical, so the real odds are somewhat higher. Yeah, see, it's 4 splotches, but they move around. But I don't think we do that anymore in 3D ones. I don't know. The value internally used in Pokemon Home as the default pattern for Spinder is this one, which is a close match to the pattern shown in nearly all official artwork, sprites, and 3D renders. Spinder would display the clock pattern identical to its appearance. Spinder was displayed as having the same pattern as the static rendered image. The encryption constant in Spinder and Home remains unchanged, which means that if transferred out of Home into a compatible game, they would likely retain their original spot pattern. However, Home's mobile app no longer displays the spot pattern associated with the encryption. all appearing as the stock image. Oh, interesting. So we do have different spots in 3D still. I'd actually never noticed. Unlike other Pokemon with no gender differences, the Rotom Pokedex does not display a single model for both male and female Spinda, but rather a separate one for each. The models used are whichever the first spot and patterns of each gender were. Interesting. Pokemon Home cannot transfer Spinda into or out of Pokemon Go or Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl due to inconsistencies in how the spot pattern works. In Pokemon Go, Spinda has 9 predetermined forms rather than patterns. This is due to a bug in the game which causes the encryption constant to be read as a big endian value, i.e. bytes read in reverse order, and would allow the possibility to directly change the pattern. Spinda is the only Pokemon that cannot be transferred out of these games. Wild. I didn't know that about Go. Also, I will mark it off before anyone calls me. How dare you call it? How dare you. I didn't know that. So, modern 3D Spindas do have different spots? I just kind of assumed they didn't, actually. I just kind of assumed they didn't. So there's 9 Spinda patterns in Pokemon Go. That makes sense, it's a mobile app, so... Are the spots still random? It's using a randomizer of about 40 to 100 different meshes, and all the spots are completely different. Or, so you don't know. Right. I guess we're still using random spot patterns. I kind of like how Beastie Ball's doing it, where each colour has like a hue variance. Because when Hope was playing Beastie Ball last night, I commented of like, oh, your starter is a darker shade than mine. And I was like, that's kind of neat. So it's like, they're not shiny, but there's still like a little bit of variance. It makes them feel unique. Bye, pirate! See you later. After talking about sitting last night, and it popped into my head just now that random patterns would be super cool for other Pokemon. Yeah, it would be nice. They should. I feel like they should do it another way. Like, I get that that was like Spinda's thing, but otherwise Spinda is pretty unremarkable. They should add in more Pokemon that have variance between them. Like, again, in Beastie Ball, there's also Wooly, which literally has the normal and the shiny. They're not called shinies. But then there's also just, like, a third colour that you can get that isn't shiny. It's as common as the other one. It just comes in 2 colours. It just can. Because I remember the first time I saw one, I was like, oh, did I find a shiny? And then I looked it up and it was like, oh, it just comes in another colour. You can get a brown one, or you can get a cream one, and then the rare one is this kind of bluish one. It's like it just comes in another colour. Just cuz. And then it's got the hue slider within that. which is neat. It's interesting to see that on the alternate you could, by pure chance, end up with one that's like purple. That's interesting. That just very rapidly goes from yellow to purple there. Look at this little boy. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I need to remember that bit of trivia for when I next talk to girls. Apparently Wooly's sound samples were actually provided by a dog of one of the developers. Whereas all the other ones are actually like people making noises. Amazing. So like Pokemon players need another reason to obsess about their favourite Pokemon, and it would be neat to give them some personality. Yeah. I mean, if you get into the area of the Pokemon fandom where people like have their own like Pokemon OCs and do actually like, you know, draw and write stuff about them, you'll find a lot of people give their Pokemon custom markings and things anyway, obviously. And there's also like the section of people who make themselves like Pokemon fusions, which is also very cool. But like, I remember back in the day, in ye old Deviant Art, that there was an artist that got reasonably well known for their Pikachu OC that was inspired by the evil Pikachu in the Mewtwo film. And they referred to them as Rocketchu, but they had a black tip to the tail, like on the like inverse tip. You know, not where Pikachu normally has it. So, where's the fucking... So in the movie, Pikachu clone, in the movie, the Pikachu clone has these spiky bits on its ear, which I think was probably the fandom's first interaction with a Pokemon having slightly different markings. And someone being, you know, and this was DeviantArt, so it was like, you know, peak edgy. They were like, I'm gonna make my own evil Pikachu OC, and they basically just did this. And that was the character, but like, they were quite a good artist, so they got like a pretty sizable following, and that this was literally their Pikachu that they had. And I remember that. Weird core memory unlocked. And now you see a lot of it. Now you see a lot of it, but that was like the first person to try to do it, I remember. Wild. Of course, they're a Has-Been Hotel fan now. That's a read. That's a read. I remember one of the games had Pikachu with a cross on its ear. Not a cross, it was referred to as the spiky-eared Pichu. That was literally its name. It's literally just referred to as the spiky-eared Pichu. It's not quite a cross. It's like a tuft. But you can see, like, it's got the little thing. It's funny that Pichu has this, because it was the thing that was on the clone Pikachu. Maybe that kind of gave them the inspiration for it, because Pikachu doesn't have that dip. But yeah, if you start to go into the Pokemon fandom, you'll find a lot of people do sort of like tweak and customize markings for their Pokemon OCs. I kind of want to do the same with Archer, because currently Archer is just an Arcanine, and I kind of want to have something that like sets him apart. But like the main thing that sets him apart is the fact that he's fucking massive, which doesn't come across unless he's, you know, stood next to someone. But I mean, funny enough that you use Ziff's emotes, because Ziff is a prime example. Ziff is Zephora's Arcanine. Has black tips on her ears. Arcanine doesn't have that. She also has different stripes, I believe. But prime example. Prime example. Arrowhead marking? Oh, maybe, because Archer. I suppose so. I never really had a reason that his name was Archer. That was just his name. So I could make a reason. Because, funnily enough, in the manga as well, again, Arcanine, because my favourite, I remember, in the manga, the character Crystal in the manga, you know, Gold, Silver, Crystal, the character Crystal, almost all of her Pokemon have star markings on them somewhere. And including her Arcanine. And her Arcanine, again, edgy, Crystal's Arcanine. His nickname is Archie. Truly, the manga has some inspiring nicknames. A lot of the Pokemon have nicknames, but truly they are inspiring. But he's often stylized with one of his eyes being covered by his fur. And is there a gallery for him? Oh, there isn't. He's stylized with that one of his eyes is covered by his fur. And that's because his other eye doesn't have a scar on it, but it has a scar, like, near it. He got scarred by a Larvitar, because rock-type fire. If I go to Crystal... a lot of Crystal's Pokemon have stars. And she either gives them a necklace, or they actually have markings on them. So the Parasect has a star there. Her Cubone actually has a star in its, like, crack. I believe the Hitmonchan has a star on one of its gloves. The Natu has a star under its eye. Star on his chest. So a lot of her Pokemon have, like, star markings on them. Kinda just because. Yeah, where's... There's no gallery for him, so I can't show you, but yeah, he has a scar under his eye. Yeah, and so it's covered over by his fur quite a lot. I think the manga does a decent job of, like, differentiating Pokemon, because obviously they're having to draw them. So if there's, like, the same Pokemon, the viewer has to be able to tell who is whose Pokemon. Yeah, can't find it on Google, but I know the frame from the manga. I know the frame from the manga of him having his fur brushed out of his face by Crystal, and her finding out that he had a scar on his eye. See if we can get the sketches for the expressions done, at least. And I could really go for pizza, but like specifically Domino's, but Domino's is so expensive. But it's good though. This isn't fitting right. Yeah, pot noodle coming so. I think that's coming tomorrow, because it's been dispatched today. Heck. I have food, I was just thinking out loud of, my brain suddenly just went pizza, and I'm like, no, we can't have pizza. We have like bread and chicken and butter to make a sandwich with, so, you know, have that. No. Chicken and mushroom sounds good, to be honest. Yeah, chicken and mushroom pot noodles are good. They're like they're the default flavor, so I think some people sometimes are like, that's a bit basic, but it's one of those things where I'm like, well, maybe I like being basic because I like the chicken and mushroom one. It's tasty. It also probably has like it has a lot of salt in them, but I think every pot noodle has a ton of salt in them. It's basically British cup ramen, is what pot noodle is. Pot noodle is British cup ramen. Pot noodle is a brand of instant noodle snacks from the United Kingdom, available in a selection of flavours and varieties. Yeah, I know. I didn't know if you knew, because it's one of those ones where, for some reason, because I've never heard anyone talk about it, I just assumed it was a very British thing. Many pots contain a sachet of soy sauce. This is true. It's poor people food or don't have time to cook food. Yeah. It's definitely in that category of I just want something quick and I want something hot and I definitely don't have time to cook, but I do have time to boil a kettle. Because the thing is as well, being in the UK, every household has a kettle. So it was like a no-brainer, really, of like, well, let's just make a instant noodle thing that requires boiled water because everybody in the country has a kettle. So it's like no-brainer, easy thing to do. In my previous job, I used to sometimes get a pot noodle. Sometimes we'd go to the corner shop and be like, I'm gonna get a pot noodle for lunch. And I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put my sandwich in the fridge and have it tomorrow. I want a pot noodle, generally when it's cold, and it's like, I just want hot food. As with most things, it's like, if you made it yourself, it would definitely be better for you, and cheaper. I'm going to ignore that comment, Ace. It would definitely be better for you and cheaper, but it's nowhere near as convenient. Literally, like buying pre-made sandwiches of like, oh, buying a loaf of bread and butter and ham and making a ham sandwich for the full week is infinitely cheaper than going to the shop every day and buying a pre-made ham sandwich. But people do it anyway. And it's the similar vibe of like, if I just bought some noodles and like some chicken stock, I could probably make something just as good. But the effort of having to do that when I can just boil a kettle and have a pot noodle is great. But also the whole reason we got onto this topic when Den was like, oh, I'm having a pot noodle. I haven't had a pot noodle since, I think, since I left my job. That was the last time I had one, when I occasionally had a pot noodle at my last job. So I have not had a pot noodle since then. Fun fact, after years of people tossing in the microwave, they finally made the cups microwave safe. That's what I mean, of like, don't, it's a plastic cup. So I was like, don't microwave that. It literally never occurred to me to microwave a pot noodle because we have kettles. Literally didn't occur to me of like, I could microwave this, of like, no, what? Why? Just boil some water. America, yeah. It's a paper cup. Ours is still plastic. Because everybody has a kettle. Ours is plastic because everybody has a kettle. I'm trying to move away from things that use plastic to store food, but most things do. Yeah, I remember that there was like a show once that like followed a family which was like, we're trying to cut out plastic. And it was just, all it did was emphasize just like, it's so hard, it's near impossible. Trying to buy food that isn't in a plastic container, it's so hard. They're like, even a fruit. Of like, there's so much fruit that just comes wrapped in plastic, and it's like, no, we just want to have the fruit. Back in a bit, TTFN, bye, core. I'll be stopping for lunch imminently and going for my walk. This is kind of to like show how he looks with his eyes dilated, because Lucky kind of by default has slit pupils. Okay.
church corridor, and I can't help but to hear, no, I can't help but to hear an exchanging of words. What a beautiful wedding, what a beautiful wedding, says the bridesmaid to the foyer. Yes, but what a shame the poor groom's bride is a whore. I Simon, haven't two people ever heard of.
Closing the goddamn door, no. Better to face these kinds of things. Sense of poison rationality. Right, tail, I think actually I need to draw longer. and Lucky's tail is quite thick base. I think before I get too lost in the sauce, I should probably stop and go have that lunch. Because I was really getting into doing that. Oh, big stretch. Ugh, stiff. Ugh, probably because of the cold. Well, yeah. I'm just looking and thinking about other stuff, but I should stop and go and do all the stuff that I need to do because there's always a lot of it, and I end up rushing because I never seem to have enough hours in the day. So I am going to go start doing some of them. Press this. Wow. I will be back. So if you don't have anything to do or anywhere to be, by all means, please keep the window open. I will be back. And I hope to see you then. We will carry on with working on this reference sheet. If not, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow evening for Beastie Ball. So, yes, enjoy whatever it is you get up to. I will see you later. Bye-bye. Hello. Hi. Hope everyone is doing well still. Bah. Thank you for the flowers, Vaz. How's it going, Vaz? Bah. I'm gonna have some chocolate. Oh. Mm-hmm. I'm only shift this week so I can watch a few streams. Yay! Yay! You get to hang out. Although, to be fair, tomorrow is evening stream. Well, you could go to work, have a nap, and then come back for stream. Chocolate. Yeah, I did just sort of stare at that word for a minute, and I was like, "What the hell are you on?" Tailbag. I would like my avatar, but lots of pockets. Yeah, that was one that I remember when I drew Lucky the first time for Pirate. The very first time I drew them, I was the one who was like, "Okay, hear me out, tailbag," and they went yes immediately. I was like, okay, hear me out, but tailbag. Look, my understanding is that people who have Dragon Sonas and Kobold Sonas love the concept of tailbags. Okay, close that. Right. So yeah, we are making a proper ref sheet for Pyra and Lucky. I'm gonna put some of this text in properly. Expressiveness. Alright, Pirate did say that they wanted space for a bio. So I'd originally put palette down here, but instead that's probably going to be bio. And we're going to put the palette in the box up here that I added in. You can see I added this in because it's a slightly different colour to the first sketch. I'll probably do it in like 2 batches maybe of we'll do it like diagonally like this because that's fancy. So we do like one there for the body and then one here for like clothes. Got another idea for a bag, which I have to note down before I forget it again. Yeah. Honestly, Lucky's tail bag is, like, very simple. Because if you looked at it, you would realize that it probably would spin. So, I think a lot of tail bags that I've seen where people have put thought into it is they have the tail bag on the tail. But then they also have, like, supporting harnesses that sort of go round the waist and legs. So that it doesn't spin, basically. To sort of hold it in place. Kind of like how sword scabbards, because like a simple sword scabbard is basically like a belt that goes around like that, but a more complex sword scabbard like gives you that, and then also gives you one round the leg, so that the sword doesn't like spin around and flop away all the time. I'm not going to need it. I'm definitely not going to need it yet, but I might actually colour pick these colours to put in the palette. That way they're in the document. I remember the pirate actually gave me a very specific like colour code for the first picture of he's this shade of red. Well, so they did arrive. The pot noodle. But they arrived after I had eaten. I didn't think that they were going to arrive today. They got here very fast. It's because they were technically from Amazon. I'm going to have another piece of chocolate. But hey! I guess if Spook comes home hungry, he can have a snack if he wants. Though he might ruin his dinner if he has one. I think I did... Did I do these the same colour, or did I make them slightly different? They are slightly different. Oh, they're the same colour as his horns. His claws are the same colour as his horns. That makes sense, because they're made of the same stuff. Well, I'll work on, like, actually presenting this in a pretty way when we're further on. This is literally getting all of the, information down. The delivery cost was another 12 cups because I was curious if 5 and they were already bought. Yep. Yep. Technically a £3 saving. Because they were selling them for £1 each, but we got a box of 12 for £9. So £3 saving, technically. The thing is that I'm not going to be here for lunch tomorrow because I'm seeing my my parents. So I'm not even going to be able to have one until like Wednesday. But I'm sure Spook will enjoy having one. I think that's everything on the body. Listen to the radio, don't you remember? Oh, speaking of... Nope, that's the neighbour. I never know when Spook's coming home because they keep randomly moving him backwards and forwards an hour. Right, so we need the blue on the vest. The purple on the scarf. The bright purple. to contrast the very dark blue. Definitely needs to be bigger, but that's fine because I can move the whole thing along. So I'm like, oh, I need the colours on the gold chain, the colours on his eye patch, the colour on his hat, and the colour on his feathers, but like we've got all this space. So I can move all of this along. Oh, eye is also a thing. Eyes. Ah! What? What? What's your problem? I have many problems, you're gonna need to be more specific. What is your problem with always throwing stuff at me? Hi, pirate! Look at this guy. Look at him. Silly bean. I can't throw hugs at you, so boxes and balls will have to do. What kind of logic is that? I'm going to trade affection for violence. Don't you start. Right, where was I? Vest, scarf, pants. We want the golden chain. So keep having to extend this. So gold chain and the blue tassel attached to it. Then we've got the leather on the hat and the eye patch is the same colour. And the gold of the eye patch, Jesus, so many. I love the fucking goose. Oh, shit. Wah, I was doing so well. It's on the wrong layer. Begrudgingly opens up bingo. It's on the wrong layer. I was doing so well. I was like, can we... God fucking damn it. I was like, can we make it through an art stream without me drawing on the wrong layer? Nope. I was doing so well. So, colour picker. So I need the gold. Make sure I zoom in on that. Gold. Is a slightly different colour from their eyes. That's fun. The bright blue tassel. We need the leather of the hat and the eye patch, which are both the same. The clover, which funnily enough comes out as this colour. Because metallic is all in the lighting. It's all in the lighting. Which I might actually do. So many colours, I keep having to move the palette along. I suppose I don't actually need the word palette there. dog. My closing thoughts as I was going to bed last night, because typical ADHD brain of I'm about to go to sleep, let's just think about weird shit, was the sudden urge to draw like info pages for my D&D characters if they were Pokemon, as in like the Pokemon and then like nature, moveset, held item, and I was like, why? Why? You haven't even drawn ref sheets for your D&D characters. Why do you want to draw them as Pokemon? But I got as far as opening my phone and being on Bulbapedia looking up movesets and being like, well, this character needs to have this move, but can this Pokemon actually learn it? They can. Excellent. They can learn it via TM. Great. Of like, they got it. It has to be a legal moveset. Alright, so vest, scarf, trousers, chain, earrings have the same colour as the chain, tassel, leather, the eye patch, the feather. I'm going to combine the feather into two. Hand wraps. And the last one is the bag, which has two colours on it as well. Me, blue as bid I go to bed, but brain go brr. Congratulations, that is me every night. The true reason that if I did get an actual diagnosis that I would want medication isn't so I could function in the day. It's so I can go the fuck to sleep. Because I can't sleep because my brain just doesn't shut up. There we go. I think that is every colour. I never know how to do palettes on ref sheets, frankly. I've only ever done one other ref sheet, and even when I did the palette on that one, I wasn't really sure what I was doing, so I've done this one completely different. Some people don't label colours on the ref sheet, and I'm like, I kind of get that you don't need to because you can literally see where the colour is, but at the same time, it feels nice to me to have the very clear of like, this is what this colour is for. But that's just me, I think. Americans. Pants. Not trousers. It should be trousers. The trousers. Slightly pedantic, but shouldn't that be eye instead of eyes? No, because it's 2 eyes. The eyes are the same colour. The pupils are different, but they're just white and black. But the 2 eyes, same colour. 2 of them. Tyranto with Thunder, Earthquake, Flamethrower, and Surf, I think. Jeez, just talk about just going offensive. Vars. Fucking hell. My question is, if Vars is a Void Dragon, then where are the Dark type moves? Theming. We talked about this before whenever we come onto Pokemon, because I'm that bitch of like, because I care about Pokemon and know a lot about it, I'm not the kind of person who's like, well, my character would be Arcanine because Arcanine is my favourite. Like, no, that's not a reason. For real? Buzz, you know what Pokemon your Sona is? It's Zekrom. Dragon Electric type. We can extend to Black Kyurem if you really want. But it's Zekrom, it's Dragon Electric. Ironically though, doesn't learn Dark Pulse. Probably because it doesn't need it. But it learns Dragon Pulse instead. I want to see a pre-split version of that. So does every Pokemon fan in the fandom. Everyone wants to know what Kyurem looked like before they all split up. Some people speculated that one of the sprites in the leaks that happened might have been a concept for it, or is a concept for an early Kyurem. Which would be... this guy, and it's got a weird filter on it because apparently Nintendo has been taking some of this stuff down. This guy. Some people think that this was a beta Kyurem sprite. That guy there. I'm kind of glad they didn't go with that design because it does look kind of weird for Pokemon. Yeah, a weird looking guy, isn't he? You can see the game my dad's playing. I should do these in order. I don't know what word would best fit here, because it's, I guess, jewellery? Because it's the chain, but also the earrings use that gold colour, and the tassel is part of it. This is, stop trying to put it in the same text box. Hat. And patch. Clover. Lover? Clover. Feather. Yeah, I will reorganize these and unify them so that like there's like even spacing and stuff. This is just to sort of get it all down on paper. I'll look up Zekron's moveset and step moves based on my OC. Ignore me. I get very opinionated on this stuff, and people can tell me to shut up. Because Lord knows I've said to a couple of my friends when they're like, my D&D OC would be this character, and I'm like, no they wouldn't, and then afterwards I'm like, it's not my character, why am I telling them what to do? I just get so opinionated about Pokemon. Yeah. I think, even though I don't play this way in-game, I think when I'm trying to make up movesets for, like, characters as Pokemon, I try to give them, like, one move that isn't damaging. Because I think it, like, adds to the character, kind of. So the one I was thinking of last night was, funnily enough, a D&D character I don't even play anymore. And I was like, I want to give her either agility or Swords Dance, and I think I was going to give her agility, because I was like, I think Delmara would have Swords Dance, because being a rogue, Delmara was obviously, like, lots of damage, and Swords Dance increases attack by 2. And plus, Del used a sword, whereas the other character didn't, they used a bow. So I was like, we'll go for agility for them, and Delmara gets Swords Dance. Okay, let's leave that for now. We've got all of our colours, like, labelled. Save that. Delmar is a Sneasel, by the way, for anyone wondering. That's not even a hard choice. It's not even a hard choice. Sneasel. Not evolved. And Sneasel. Probably would just have the Quick Claw as a held item. She was also quite fast. So, doesn't have agility, but has Quick Claw. Not Hisuian. Slash, Screech, agility. Ironically, can learn agility. Beat up Hone Claws, Free Swipes, Ice Wind, Metal Claw. Quick Attack, Taunt. Quick Attack. Not very strong, but very on brand. And then we've got Thief, obviously has to have Thief. Thief, maybe Metal Claw. If I had to tap me down from Pokemon, I'd probably be slacking, though that might be just surface level. Very surface level. Swords Dance. There's Swords Dance here. Swords Dance. Thief. Metal Claw, maybe Aerial Ace? As a reference to the Raven, flying type move with a high crit chance. Would maybe be the move set. Well, the all Shadow Claw is another high crit move. Anything that's a high crit move, I think, makes sense for Delmara. So, yeah. Does Metal Claw have high crit? I don't remember. Do all the claw moves high crit moves? No, Metal Claw has a chance of raising their attack one stage. Yeah. Okay. That's probably enough of that. I still have not oiled my chair. I mean, if Tala is a difficult one, not because I don't know which Pokemon she would be, but because there's like 3 Pokemon that suit her. And I can't pick which one I would go for. I just put a move like Evasion in there. Does Sneasel learn one? I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wants a Sneasel plush purely because it's the Delmara Pokemon. Does it learn an evasive move? I don't know if Sneasel does. Protect is not a Delmara move because Protect implies a shield. So Protect is like, you know, taking it and not being affected, whereas Delmara would be dodge. It would have to be Minimize, which I don't think Sneasel learns. Thief, Traverse, Facade, Aerial Ace, no, Swift, Icy Wind, Low Sleep, Fling, Avalanche, Endure. Nah. Sunny Day, Rain Dance, Snowscape, Dig, False Swipe, Brick Break, Shadow Claw, Foul Play, Ice Punch, Sleep Talk, Poison Jab, Rest, Taunt, Swords Dance, Dark Pulse, Substitute. If she had been more ninja, maybe, but no, she's not a ninja. X is a Shadow Ball, Surf, Calm Mind, Helping Hand, LOL, Reversal, Ice Beam, Nasty Plot, Giga Impact, Terra Blast, Spite. That's funny, just because it's Spite. Knockoff, Icicle Sphere, Focus Punch, Lash Out, Triple Axle, Throat Chop, Upper Hand. No, they don't learn any evasive moves. They just don't learn them. Throat Chop is funny. I know who would know that move. What's Lash Out? If any of the user's stats were lowered during the turn the move is used, the power is doubled. Could be. Like, you want to have one stab move, but I feel like you gotta have Thief. I've gotta have Thief on a Delmara Pokemon, so that's your physical stab dark type move. Center toe is a little bit bigger, but like not by much. Side view on feet and paws on animals always looks so weird. I just realised if I'm in a campaign with Lucky, I legitimately say I could kick him in the tail bag. That is a thing you can legitimately say. I think maybe scale, part of the reason that looks weird scale-wise is because it's too small. I also need to like bring that forward a little bit because I think the one thing that a lot of people and also me also struggle with is when with furry feet is like having the leg come down and then having the toe like literally be right there, and it's like that's not how feet typically go. You typically have leg, a little bit of foot there, and then your toes, and then your heel. Like that's a foot, and it's like we tend to remove this middle bit. And it's like no, it should probably still be there. I need to move that forward just a touch so we've still got... So we have toe, foot, heel. Because I suppose you got to think of like, that's where your paw pad would probably be. And then you'd have your toe pads. So you don't want to have your toes like right up against the back of the foot. Otherwise you've got no room, even though Lucky doesn't have beans, but I was just using it as an example. I like my beans all touching the floor. I can't stand the toe being the only one in the air, or one claw being the only one with the big curl. Oh, you mean like the dew claw? Having a dew claw like that. I think evolutionary-wise there is a reason for the dew claw. I just don't remember what it is off the top of my head. I always forget about it, frankly. Like, Blue probably has a Dewclaw. I never draw it. None of her models have it. Although, actually, no. I'm probably misremembering. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I was about to be like, can you get Dewclaws on hind legs? Yeah, you do. On dogs. I was like, for some reason my brain was like, a hind leg Dewclaws only a thing for reptiles? Like, no, they're not. No, you can get them on dogs as well. I'm seeing this a lot with senior dogs just being there, yeah. But I think the thing about Dewclaws on dogs is that if you're a sensible dog owner, you got to remember to trim it down because it grows just like all the other ones. But these get worn down by just day-to-day use and walking on the ground, whereas these don't. And I think it's a case of, like, if they were hunting in the wild, this is extra grip. And is, you know, when you're leaping, you know, leaping with all fours onto an animal, that's giving you extra grip to grip onto, but on a domesticated animal, it's not having as much use, and they have to be trimmed. Dewclaws, yes. Now it might be a bit far forward. I realise I need to tuck that leg in a bit. House of Dewclaws, which is an interesting idea considering, yes, whales have thumbs. Did you know? Did you know that whales have thumbs? Whales have ears that produce earwax. That's astounding underwater. That's astounding. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that. That's a thumb. That's his little thumb. You think that that's his hand sort of backwards? That's his thumb. He's got a little thumb. A little thumb. His fingies and his thumb. They're vestigial from when we were land animals. Correct. The fish came out of the water, and then after a few billion years, they decided, you know what, I'm good, and they went back, and that's why we have whales. And dolphins. Legs are difficult. Dolphins are the geese of the sea. Correct. Correct. Speaking of, a dolphin appeared in the Pokemon game. That was a bit weird, wasn't it? That's a bit weird. Wales declining land upgrades. Yeah, they gave it a go, but they just decided, you know what, nah, not for me. They return to the ocean to respec. Yeah, they decide to put all of their points into size.
I don't need you to respect me, I respect me. I don't need you to love me, I love me. But I want you to
Thank you for the drink.
know me if you change your mind.
Tell you what, that hour went very fast. I don't know why I've drawn him with his head tilted down. I should probably, like, lift your chin up. Stand straight! A little late now, but I think I liked the beta Sharpedo more than what we got. Let's have a look. I don't know. I don't know. To be fair, I do feel like Sharpedo, I get that it's meant to be because it's kind of like a engine, but the fact that it doesn't have a tail does make Sharpedo feel very, like, squashed. It feels like, it does feel a little unfinished, like the back of it's very flat, and I think that was intentional, but I don't know if I like it personally. Yeah, I always felt like Sharpedo just looked like, it literally looks like a Gibble head. People have always speculated that, like, the Sharpedo line and the Garchomp line are related because Sharp, but Sharpedo does just look like a Gibble head. And, like Gibble's whole thing is that it is kind of just a round boy because he's not fully grown up, but Sharpedo's like the final stage of, like, that's it. That's the final thing. Oh, that cup of tea went through me, though. I need to go to the bathroom again. Sorry, I'll be right back. Wah. I'm back. About that. Oof. Right. Ugh. Okay. forward a little bit, perhaps. Oh shit. Damn it, you're right. We haven't had that in a while as well. Music was muted. Wah. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I might need to go take a paracetamol. Ugh. Apparently there might be virality news this week. We might be finding out this year's theme on the 17th, I think they said. I think we might be finding out what the theme is. Oh, 18th? It's literally midnight, so it's 17th for probably you guys in America, but 18th for us in Europe. Yeah. Cyber Connection on Saturday, January 18th at 12 AM. It's time to reveal the next Virality Online experience. So, yeah, they're going to be revealing the theme for this year. Neat! I wonder what it'll be. Oof. 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 No way of having a bingo. Could anyone want to make Blue cry? See, you guys get haha, we found the weakness. Only video games can make me cry. And we're not doing video games. I cried on my lunch break because there was a sad video on my timeline. Thanks, algorithm, for showing me that. See the ending of To the Moon, there would be a tear. To the Moon, is that a film? Or... I think that corner of the mouth needs to come forward a little bit. Like that. It's a game, ah. Oh, I did say video games make me cry. Cry to FF. Cry to Everhood as well, actually. I remember seeing the clip, the clip of towards the end of the game when you're, you know, attacking everyone and it's your turn to attack Blue, and I'm like, no, they've been with me for the whole adventure, they're my friend! No! No, you can't do this! Pattis is playing Marvel Rivals. Oh no. Rip to a real one. I just don't think I can with Marvel Rivals, you know. Overwatch let me down too bad. I was burnt too hard by Overwatch to just be like, woo, Marvel Rivals. I'm like, no, I can't. I don't even like Marvel all that much, so it's like, I actually feel less of a draw to it than I did to Overwatch, because Overwatch was like original characters. I'm just like, I can't. I don't have the strength. Funny thing is that I have the colour mixer panel down here, and I never empty it. You can't see it behind me. This little thing here. It's a little colour mixer thing, and I basically never empty it because it's got Blue's palette on it, because Blue doesn't have a proper ref sheet, but this has her colours on it. And I'm like, really, I should make her a proper ref sheet for her, so that I can empty this colour mixer. No, I think, I'm just gonna do that for now, and I'm gonna make a new layer. I'm actually gonna do markings on a slightly different colour, just for now. So they have one big one. I'll ask Pirate whether I want to, because I see, like, typically I see it a lot on Sonas that have like a lot of stripes and spots, as people will put footnotes as to whether they need to be accurate or not. They'll literally like be kind to the artist and be like, you know, oh, spots can just be wherever. And like, you know, there's one people where it's like, spots can be whatever, but they have to have this marking or whatever here has to be exact, but anything else is whatever. Apparently this is the year the Eevee in Pokemon Center and all the evolutions are sold out besides Jolteon. Oh Oh, poor Jolteon. I like Jolteon. Also, I will straight out, here's the bit of jadedness coming through. Year of the Eevee, straight up a marketing campaign. There is nothing significant presently about why this year is the year of the Eevee. Literally, they just decided of like, we're just gonna do some marketing and make it the year of Eevee. Like, they could have made it year of the Eevee with Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, but they didn't. Yeah, poor Jolteon. Do my boy dirty. Funny enough, I think Dodge has been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. I popped on looking for Sneasel plushes and noticed that. Aww. It looks fun if you're already engaged with the Marvel fandom, but I don't think it's my thing. I mean, same, basically. Same. I had my fill of Overwatch. Overwatch was fun, mainly because of playing with friends, and I don't think there's enough people who are interested in playing it. I think there's maybe, like, 3, which isn't enough for a team. And I'm like, I don't have that pull of, like, yeah, it's a Marvel game. I'm very impassive towards like hero media of like I can sleep on both Marvel and DC. Like I'm good. I don't know. I don't know if it's literally my brain's way of being like, you have enough obsessions. You're fine. You don't need this as well.
Deep down in the darkest night, you're losing all your light, and in a marching war, and you can't hold anymore.
All of the fun one-liners and things I can get from TikToks and YouTubes, yes.
I've been dealt those same cards. Just remember in the darkest night, Sometimes it's hard to see, but that light can never leave.
Spook is home. Yay.
You're trapped in your own mind. To yourself you can't be kind. Stuck alone, trapped in a hole, feeling nothing but numb and cold. A maze stuck in your own head,
Paralyzed in your own bed.
Just remember in the darkest night,
Night.
there's
So
always a candle.
candlelight. Good boy has returned. Not Bard's not a boy, but yes. Good dog.
Nothing, feeling lost and fading. No grip for you, no idea what to
Just go with good dog. We'll go with good dog. They're non-binary,
closing.
so we'll go with good dog.
Get it out of my head. Yeah. Just remember in the darkest night, there's always a candlelight.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the music.
Sometimes it's hard to see.
I thought you were talking about the music. F.
But when the world is no longer bright, we'll bring it back with the candlelight.
Music's a little low. I mean, it is meant to be background music. I don't want it to drown me out when I'm talking. But I sing along to it anyway, so. I've chosen a moveset: Zekrom with Bolt Strike, Noble Roar, Brutal Swing, and Dragon Breath. Ooh, that's cool. Let's have a look at some of these. Bolt Strike, I think, is his signature move, if I'm remembering correctly. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, Bolt Strike. It is the signature move of Zekrom, so currently only Zekrom can learn it. Normally that ends up getting changed, but it actually hasn't been changed as of current game, so that's quite funny. Signature moves only tend to stay private for a generation, but no, they kept this one. That's neat. Bolt Strike, Noble Roar. Noble Roar do. Vaguely familiar with it. Brutal Swing and Dragon Breath. Noble Roar. Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath. Ah yes, I know Dragon Breath. Good one. Noble Roar. Lowers the target's attack and special attack. Ooh, it's like an intimidation kind of thing. Neat. And what's the other one? Brutal Swing. Zekrom can't learn Brutal Swing. What does Brutal Swing do? What does Brutal Swing do? Ba-ba-ba-ba. It is a dark move. That hits all allies. All enemies, sorry. Okay. The dark type move. Ah, is that why you wanted it? Because it's a dark type move? other moves react with different Z moves. Well, I think that's just how Z moves work. Huh. Zekrom really only learns Crunch or Fling as dark moves. Not a lot of dark type moves on Zekrom. I suppose even though he's a black dragon, he represents like electricity and energy and stuff, so I guess they didn't want darkness. I guess they didn't want darkness on him. So that's probably what Kyurem has. Kyurem probably has more dark moves. Surprisingly not. And same with Reshiram. That trio of dragons just don't really learn dark moves. That's interesting. The more you know. Okay, just sketch this a bit. Something that I might turn on here is the mirror, but I don't remember how to do it because I've done it like once before. Clip Studio Mirror. Ruler tool. Symmetrical ruler. Hi, Hope. I'm not late yet. No, you didn't miss it. Just. You didn't miss it. Just. Noble Roar becomes the Z Noble Roar, Brutal Swing becomes Black Hole Eclipse, Outrage become, and Dragon Breath become Devastating Drake. Nice, nice. That's pretty cool.
I will find her. I will find her if I have to burn down all of Paris.
Front views are so hard when the faces are so long. How are you doing? We're doing okay. Doing okay. How are you doing? Just a sketch. Hello again, Nemo.
I got 60 years to make it all happen.
I can't even pay an electricity bill. Another 10 years to feel young again.
So I'm sleeping around and I'm swallowing pills.
My head it is a mess. Came into a belch for a time to be alive. That's streaming, baby! You get what you see on the tin. Unfiltered. I've seen today, if I had an OC head fursuit, I'd like the snoot as long as my head. Kind of dreamt it yesterday because holding him from cheeks with head. Yeah. I suppose you got to think of, like, if that's the length of your head, then you'd take that. And you use it to measure the snoot. Sometimes stuff like that can be useful for artists, like, honestly, when I'm drawing Blue's tail, I'm like, Blue's tail is basically as big as her body, because big tail. And I guess I kind of use the same thing here with Lucky's tail, because also big tail. I mean, lots of people like big tails, let's be real. I've only met, like, a handful of people where they're like, no, my son has got a little tail. Because everyone likes big tail. To find direction, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. Oh, oh. Maybe it's all in my head, all in my head, all in my head. I'll never be anyone, and I'll never be anywhere but here. All in my head, all in my head. I'll never be anyone, and I'll never be anywhere but here. On the motorway station, I watch life go by on a videotape. Spent a night in the woods to find direction. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. Oh, oh. Maybe it's all in my head, all in my head, all in my head. I'll never be anyone, and I'll never be anywhere but here. It's all in my head, all in my head, all in my head. I'll never be anyone, and I'll never be anywhere but here. Jesus Christ. I was just looking at, like, references to obviously sort of, like, you know, try to think that, getting things correctly. That is legitimately some of the worst AI art I have ever seen in my life. Fucking hell. It's actually funny how bad that is. Is that number 3 on the bingo? What's number 3? I don't know what the numbers are. What's number 3? Vocal stim? Me singing isn't a vocal stim. The Avengers trailer? No, Kobold. Let us all laugh at how atrocious this AI picture is. Behold, a Kobold reference sheet that has 2 tails, but also no tail, but also 1 tail and 1 leg? And also, where is other leg? Question mark? And also, but leg is facing forward and leg is facing back, but also no leg, only tail. That's so bad, it's funny. Oh my god, throw it in a fire. God, Google is shit at the moment. Well, Google was always shit, but it's worse at the moment. I was just looking at other Kobold ref sheets just to see what the vibe is like. So all of these kobold ref sheets that are actually by people, super cute. There's some super cute kobolds out there. What happens if you feed your kobold after the midnight? That's bad, I say as an AI enthusiast. Shh. Shut up. Shh. Don't say anything. It's all bad. But the non-AI kobolds, very cute. There's one called Duck! This kobold's called Duck! I love him. Love Duck. Duck's great. That, like, it's not a snare, that almost, like, clap sound. It's really nice. It makes me think of some Spyro levels. How to be sneaky, Duck. I need to make a mental note that I should send Ollie like a get well card. I didn't realise that he was like legitimately going to be in hospital and have an operation soon. Making dinner. A duck? I haven't had duck in ages. Hoisin duck is good. To be fair, duck is good, frankly. Like, a nice, proper piece of duck. Duck is one of those things that I wouldn't really have the confidence to do at home, but when I've had it at a restaurant and it's been, like, properly done, it's nice. It is nice. It's always baffling, though, because in your brain, you're like, duck is a bird, so it should be cooked like chicken. And it's not, so when it's brought out and it's pink, you're like, oh my god, I'm going to get what? And it's like, no, that is how you cook duck. You don't cook it the same as chicken. should be a little bit pink in the middle. I haven't had duck in a long while, but I've had quackers. Wah. One of these arms is going to need to be the front and one's going to need to be the back because Lucky has spots on the back of his hands. So we need to see the inside of the hands so that we know he hasn't got beans, because often very common question, obviously in the furry community, do you or do you don't have beans? Especially when it comes to draconic characters, because with draconic characters it's like, could be either, easily could be either. Most mammal characters do, draconic characters it's, who knows. But also we need to see the back because the back has markings, so I need a front and back. You wear wigs. Do you have beans? Similar energy. Do you have beans? Will you have beans? I still love that in mine and Bennett's chat there's literally a conversation of us talking about Bennett's ref, and there's just a picture. I didn't even send any text with it, it's just a picture of the palm, and it's literally just that or that, and a big question mark being like, which do you want? Bennett's a tri-beaner. Represent. Tri-bean for the win. It just makes more sense in my brain. As obviously, as someone who has had cats all my life, I get the appeal of a big squishy bean. But for me, as an artist, who frankly probably spends a lot of time looking at my hands more than other people do, I was just like, your hand needs to be able to move and flex. And if you've got a massive wad of something stuck on the palm, that's going to be harder to do. So I was like, well, surely the padded bits on your human palm is where the padded bits on an animal palm would be if they had a hand. But I'm like, I'm in minority in this. I think the majority of the furry fandom likes having big beans. Ferret foot. Ferret foot. quite high. It doesn't like go between his nose. It go between his eyes, sorry. Like only part way up, so I guess it goes quite narrow. What? The eyes from the front look really wide in comparison to how I've drawn them on every other view. Well, felt great until I realised I'm living amongst very transphobic people. Now I'm incredibly down. Can I get hugs? Aww, of course I'll give you a big hug. And please, as Voz says, look after yourself. Please be very careful. You can all go give the hugs. Look at this hug pile! Look at the hug pile happening! It's very sweet. Yeah, face doesn't fully look right, but I am still in the sketching phase. Thanks, everyone. It's a bit jank, hands always are a bit jank. But I am a little lost in the sauce in that I've overrun by quite a large amount, and I am actually meant to be going somewhere, so I should probably stop. Front POV of Kobold is my paralysis demon standing over my bed eating my minis. I mean, it is Lucky's ref sheet, so it is him. It is him. I need to get rid of that. I'm just going to mask that out. So I'm not deleting it, but it's still there. There we go. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. Probably get some feedback from Pirate on the actual like body shape and stuff, because I'll draw close over that. But I need to sort of go over the hands a bit. The front feet actually came out okay, considering how much I was stressing over them from this angle. Here, this angle is the angle I'm much more comfortable with drawing them. So they came out better here. Tail from the front looks a little short in comparison to the side, maybe, but yeah, let's talk to PK about it. But I need to go, like, now, actually. So, have a good evening, everybody. I will see you tomorrow evening for Beastie Ball. That's probably about it. See you then. Take care. Love you all very much. I hope that you take care of yourself and look after yourself, and just remember that you are amazing and very important to all of us. So please be careful. We love you. Bye-bye.